Hi, I want to talk about an interesting case that I encountered in which different HOLLIS records correspond to different bibliographic levels of a photostat. Now, the one that I'm looking at is here, William Adams's subcutaneous surgery. It's got a BML style, BML call number. Another thing that you notice about this card is that it's part of a lecture series. It is the sixth of the toner lectures, and that will be important as we hunt around in the catalog for a record that corresponds to this. All right, so what I like to do at the start of every search is to search on the call number given and see where that takes us. So our call number is 1J51. That brings up a number of records. But one thing that you'll notice right away is that there is a bib record under the name Toner Lectures, instituted to encourage the discovery of new truths for the advancement of medicine. Let's click on that. Now, this looks promising. There is, in fact, an offsite holdings for this work, as we can confirm here. And so what we can do is search under that HOLLIS number and that brings us this record in the main sheet under the call number that we were looking at. That is a clue that we've found what we're looking for, although it does leave open the possibility that there is a separate record for this particular work. And so we can search for that directly. We can try searching on the title. And the first result that comes up on a title search, subcutaneous surgery, its principles and its recent extension in practice, that corresponds with the title on the card. And so we can pull that up. We get one bib record. We have a look. The data seems to match, published in Washington, D.C., 1877, Smithsonian Institution, 1877, 15 pages. But what we'll notice is that there is no countway holdings for this work. And in fact, we can confirm that by using ALMA. If we click on the holdings record, we'll see that the only holdings that comes up for this work is a Widener holdings. Now, we've got two different ways of proceeding in the spreadsheets. Certainly, we'll want to go ahead and mark this ownership as BML. And then the question that you might have is whether, in addition to that, you would want to make an entry in the additional photostat items sheet for this particular lecture, the sixth toner lecture, given that it has a bibliographic record of its own. There is no countway holdings for it. And my feeling is that in such a case, our work is done purely by virtue of recording the ownership of the lecture series. However, it certainly wouldn't be wrong to take the extra step of creating a new row in the additional photostat items spreadsheet for the sixth lecture, given that it was cataloged separately in the photostats. And so if you're wondering about whether, for the sake of thoroughness and completeness, you should create an entry specifically for this lecture, I see nothing wrong with it. But I also think that it's defensible not to take that extra step and to regard this card as properly treated merely by virtue of recording in the main spreadsheet the ownership for the lecture series, because that, as we have seen, is an offsite Countway Holdings.